Hello YouTube, little video today about how to extend the bar on an MS170 stihl petrol chainsaw. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while because this is a great little chainsaw, 12-inch bar, but it is a little bit on the small side, so it can make cutting a bit awkward. And I have tried to do this once before with a bar and a chain that I bought that said it was okay for MS170s, it didn't fit. So since then I've been doing a little bit of research about the things you need to know, what you need to look out for when buying a new bar. For any particular chainsaw. So I haven't tried this one out yet, so hopefully it's all in order. So ultimately this is a stihl MS170 chainsaw with a 12-inch bar, and the things to pay attention to when looking at a bar or bar increases is what size bar can this chainsaw take. So looking at the specs, it's between 12 and 16 inches. So I'm sure you could get all sorts of bars and chains that could fit any length, but the power of the engine, I think this is 33 cc. It's very small. It's the smallest one. Obviously, it's the lightest, so it's good for like nipping off branches and chopping some wood for your fire. But what can it handle? So this can handle maximum 16. I think that's perfect for what I need, because it means I can kind of stretch across the wood that I'm sawing rather than having to make a number of different nips. Once you've decided what size bar you need, there's only really two things you need to consider, and one is the girth of the chain. That's what I got wrong last time. I think I ordered a chain and it was far too thick. So this is 1.1 or 0.043 of an inch, which is a crazy way of measuring the girth of a chain. I think it's like that's within a thousandth of an inch. So 1.1 millimeters anyway. But as long as your chain matches these two figures, you know, it doesn't really matter. But this is 1.1, so it's quite a thin, skinny chain. Next is obviously the how far apart the struts are, which is going to be for this one 3/8. So once those three things are considered, it should be okay. It should be fine. So I've got a chain here. This is a bar that should have all those same schematics. So 3/8. It hits an MS170. Should be fine. And somewhere, say 16 inches. Obviously, you see the 3/8 measurement is every other rivet, I suppose. Now you see why when I take this off, why that's important, because it has to make sure it fits around the sprocket. Doesn't say, yeah, 1.1. There you go. So this should fit. This should all be okay. I'm going to get a chain from somewhere. Should be a chain in there somewhere. That should be okay. So to change the bar, you just use the tool that's supplied to loosen this off. That comes off. So you can see here that if this is not exact, it won't fit around this sprocket here. So it has to be 3/8 to make sure it fits. So once you've got the bar length, the sprockets has to fit around the sprockets to create the correct distance there to make sure, that it's smooth there. Obviously 1.1 millimeters to fit inside the bar, and the bar's got to be the right length and thickness for the chain. So those three things have to come in line for it all to work. So when conducting your own research, the two things you're looking out for is the actual official word for it is pitch. So the pitch is the distance between every other notch or sprocket or whatever you want to call it. So this is 3/8 of an inch. So that's the pitch. Also I was talking about the thickness, which is 1.1. That's the gauge, or the gauge gauge, I suppose. That's 1.1. You can see, look at the one on there. 1.1. So once you've got the bar length, so this is 12. Next one's going to be 16. You've got the pitch between every other one, and the gauge gauge of how thick the chain is. And that's it. If you've got those three things lined up, you'll be okay. The pitch is the most important, I think, because obviously this can take any number of thicknesses of chains, but the actual bar can't. So the bar's got to match the chain, and obviously the chain in itself has to match this sprocket here. So the 3/8, it won't fit in that properly if it's the wrong pitch. So this is the maximum size bar I can get for this chainsaw. So this is the chain. I actually bought this as a package, so the bar and the chain came together. So as you can see, 1.1 gauge and 3.8 pitch, P for pitch, and 16-inch bar. So exactly going to match this. So I'll pop this on and give it a go. So as you can see, there's a lot thinner bar, which I actually quite like. Well, no, about the same actually, just longer. And as you can see, perfectly fits in there. Obviously, the pitch is perfect, as it should be, and the gauge is perfect on the bar. So that should work nicely. When fitting a bigger bar, one thing to pay attention to is obviously when this goes on, it has to fit into this little hook here. The reason that's important because that's the tensioner. So you've got a little screw just in there, which obviously you tighten up or loosen. That pulls this forward and pulls the whole bar forward, which is the tensioner. So because it's quite a long bar, you have to kind of wound that in quite a way and pull that little metal strut there, probably about there on a 12-inch bar. Pull it back, it fits inside the bar, and then obviously you can put the cover on and then do the tensioning to the required tension that you require. So this is the chainsaw with the bar all attached, 16-inch bar. I've used it already and it makes a big difference. Just being able to be a little bit further away from your wood than you would with a 12-inch. Obviously it can be slightly heavier, but not really anything that you can kind of feel. So I think it's definitely the maximum of what this chainsaw can handle, but perfect for the larger wood. Got through bits that I would struggle with normally, so I'll get it going and show you what it's capable of. So the chainsaw with the 12-inch bar would get through this, but just a bit awkward because you've got to get really close to the wood, maybe take 2 or 3 different angles. I've sawn some wood that's a bit bigger than this and it went through no problem. So I did notice when using this chainsaw that it seems to be bogging down a little bit, and we've also got a bit of an issue where it's a little bit of a struggle to start at first, but when you do start it, it seems to not like tick over very much. I've seen it where in tick over the blade's moving, or it just kind of bogs down a little bit. It's not quite as sharp on the throttle. Done a bit of research and I think maybe there's a vent that's blocked on the fuel tank. Now what happens there is that when you start using the fuel, it needs to have air go into the tank to give it atmospheric pressure. Without that you kind of create a vacuum and that stops the fuel going through the system. So it sounds like that's what the problem is. It's still doing okay, but it's just not as sharp as it should be. So I'll be looking into that, and if it's something worth doing a video, I'll do a video about that later. But for now, yeah, I was really happy with the 16-inch bar. It's probably perfect for this chainsaw. I think 12 inches would be good for nipping off branches, and it means that the weight savings there. But I just found that you've always got to get the chainsaw really close to the wood. You've got to take a couple of different angles at it, and this means you can just stay a little bit distance from the wood. Can get through that bigger wood, as you can see here, and I was very happy with it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.